Seriously, I didn't know this. Like I thought it was just one of those transfers that most struggle to happen. But what I'm hearing is that there are lots of clubs that are struggling behind the scenes, like seriously, that really, really, really do want the signature of this Chelsea attacker. I was surprised. To be very honest, I was pleasantly surprised that this is the case in terms of this attack. And I think it's exciting that these offers are, especially for somebody who has come under a lot of backlash, who has come under a lot of people saying that he's not good enough, people saying that you know get a place to take him to, he's not the quality player that you want him to be. But all of a sudden, it looks as if this guy has become the main guy in terms of conversation across board. Everybody wants him. They want to make him there over there. We'll see how things are going to go. Barca are having a crunch meeting, final one of it, final one before the transfer window closes. This is a Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Yeah, Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube, the best football tactical post-match, pre-match analysis channel. All of the analysis on and off the pitch. This is the place you get it. If you are new to the channel, then thank you very much for choosing us. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. In the subscription, the channel, make sure that you do choose all. It's just so that anytime there's content here, you are first to have it here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Of course, every day we go again. Last night, just two teams. Shakhtar Donetsk at home. Shakhtar Donetsk at home. But I will not stop us today. There are also very intriguing and interesting games in the various leagues, and the codes are going to be in the description of the video. Go and pick them up and give yourself a good chance at winning something here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. And subscribe to the channel, turn on notification, in the description, turn in. Do choose all, just so anytime that content drops here, you are first to have it. Let me see the people who have made, thank you to the people who have made the show a possibility. First of all, let me go first to Yesumo Spare Parts Dealership Shop. Yesumo Spare Parts Dealership Shop. I've said it several times. See, if it's about spare parts, it's about you needing any kind of spare parts anywhere in the world. If you want car bonnets, Honda, especially the new cars that have come, the best place for you to go to is Yesumo Spare Parts Dealership Shop. He's in Accra, in Abosokai. If you are close to Abosokai or in Accra, you just have to drive your vehicle there. Just go there. He has workers who take care of the car. They will work on the car nicely for you. He has workers right there who work on the car nicely for you. But again, if you're in Accra and you're not even close to Bosokai or you're not even in Accra, wherever you are, he does what he calls the nationwide delivery. Even the countries that are nearby countries in Ghana, to Ghana, he does what he calls the delivery to them. So call him on 059-313-8221. Call him right now. 059-313-8221, and he'll take care of every need of your car for you. Call Yesumo right away. Let him get a job done for you. Of course, my man, when it comes to MOB clothing, see if it's about clothes, if it's about apparel, if it's about shirts, if it's about tops, if it's about belts, slippers, all of these things that you need to make you look clean and dapper and fresh. The best person for you to go to is MOB Clothing. MOB Clothing. That is Madam Millicent Shop. MOB Clothing. They are the best place for you to get attire. They do retail and then wholesale. Wherever you are, of course, they are at Tudu. Their flower station at Tudu. Once you get that flower station at Tudu, MOB Clothing will take very, very good care of you. They'll take care of everything that you do. But of course, if you are not in Accra, you want them sent to you. They also do those deliveries. So call them on 0200-668-708, 0200-668-708, or on 024-7277-140, 024-7277-140. Call them, let them make sure that they take very, very good care of you over the trip. So let's start with Football Club Barcelona today in front of the Mundo Deportivo. There is going to be a crunch meeting. There is going to be a crunch meeting between Deco and then, of course, Juan Laporta. In sports says in Spanish, Cumbro Final de Mercado. That is exactly what's going on. That's going to be a big meeting between Deco and then, of course, because you see, in the last few hours after the extension of the contract of Jules Koundé, there has also been conversation around the possible extension of the contract of Frankie de Jong. And we spoke the last time here about how important Frankie de Jong is to Barcelona on and off the field of play. He's one of the captains of the club. On the field of play, he's essentially exceptional. He's majestic on the ball. When you want somebody to do that recycling play, when you want somebody to do the recycling of the play, the tempo control, the intensity management of games, Frankie de Jong is that guy. He is mind-blowing and even mind-boggling to that effect. Quality display across the field of play. That's what you get from Frankie de Jong. And that contract extension has to come. Now, for it to come, Barca would have to do those meetings. But the big question is that when they extend the contract for Frankie de Jong, does that mean that they need to go into the market and also sell somebody like Casado or Bana? Because Casado has a lot of suitors. FC Marseille in the French League and coached by Roberto Di Zerbi has asked questions about Marc Casado. There has also been that of Frank. Today, I hear that Girona have also asked questions about Marc Casado. These top quality sites are all asking questions. They are interested in what the quality of Marc Casado is. And I said he is essentially like the Pedri Frankie de Jong pair in the middle of the park. Somebody who can win balls with his cognitive ability, somebody who can play out from the back, somebody who can recycle play, somebody who can control the intensity of games. That is exactly who Marc Casado is for Football Club Barcelona. In the last few hours, there have been some inquiry from Girona. So yesterday it was just Marseille, but in the last few hours, Girona have come inside, and that is the news. Barcelona will meet Marc Casado to tell him that he will not have a lot of playing time this season and ask him if he's willing to leave the club. As of now, the player wants to stay, but the situation can change anytime by the time January comes. I've said it several times. I see if Barca really want to get out of their financial woes that they are in, because Barca have still not met the independent regulator to even evaluate their VIPCs that they need for their 1:1. So Barca are still in some financial distress to an extent. One of the ways that they can really get out is the sale of some assets, and one of them is this Marc Casado. Barca have been financially very, creative and smart in the last few hours, in the last few, months and days and years. But one of the things that they need to do is to make sure that they go in there and then sort out issues like Marc Casado, because yes, he's a La Masia, but I think that's where probably the Barca hierarchy they are worried about. The Barca board will probably be worried about, because he's a Barca boy. He's a through and through Catalan, and they feel like, okay, this is a boy that he knows our traditions and all of that. But allowing Marc Casado to go away to Marseille, allow him to go to Girona and taking some good money for him, it's not bad, because Casado is an excellent player. He's a very good player. Barca will make good money for him. And today there's going to be a meeting where Marc Casado gets to meet with Deco, and then of course Juan Garcia, and they discuss his future, whether he's going to stay at Football Club Barcelona or he's going to move on. From the Spanish Players Association put out a statement in which captains of multiple teams demanded the lack of consultation before the decision to move to Villarreal and Barcelona to Miami. And of course, Marc-Andre ter Stegen has signed it over. The Barca have already assumed that they will not likely reach the 1:1 this summer, according to Financial Fair Play. This also is being reported by Sport in the Spanish La Liga, where they are talking about Football Club Barcelona and everything that they have been able to do over there for themselves. Deco met with Marc Bernal's agent to confirm the class confidence in him. An agreement was reached to renew his contract and will be announced soon. So for Bernal, it looks like it's going to stay. What Sport is also reporting today is that while Bernal stays, the most likely Casado may go. And of course, Sport is also reporting that Ferran Torres, the Shark, most likely is going to start against Levante this weekend, and that is going to be a very, very good one. If Ferran Torres is starting against Levante this weekend, we'll see how exactly how all of those ones are going to pan out from on the side of Football Club Real Madrid. Nothing big really on that point of view from that side of the conversation. The big one is the fact that Brahim Diaz is very, very close to a contract extension. Yesterday, I told you that Madrid players were not training. They didn't train yesterday. They are returning to training today. Xabi Alonso sees Brahim Diaz as an important part of his team. And in that, Madrid have said that they want to extend the contract of Brahim Diaz. They want to give him a long-term contract. They want him to stay for a very, very long term. They see him as an important squad player in there. What I've also heard the last time is that Rodrigo Goes looks like he wants to stay at Football Club Real Madrid. He is an important player. I don't know why Xabi Alonso looks like he is not playing Rodrigo Goes as much as he has to play him. I don't know why he is wasting so much time on Rodrigo Goes. But as it stands now, there is also going to be that conversation around Brahim Diaz. There's breaking news just this minute, just this second. for Vinicius Junior over the most dribbles. Yes, Vinicius Junior has the most dribbles completed plus chances created, 406 created in the top five leagues since 2022-2023. I've said it several times. When it comes to the directness of attackers, players that dribble and then are direct and come straight at you and then hit you, it was Vinny Junior. I think it was Jimmy Bino Gittins, and there was also, I think, Kylian Luton Mbappe in that quality. These players are very direct. Immediately they dribble. What follows next is a shot or a chance creation from there. So these guys are very, very important in that regard, and they bring you a lot of quality on and off the ball. And that's exactly what Vinny Junior has been able to bring to his team, Football Club Real Madrid. What I hear is that Kylian Mbappe has won the most man of the match awards in about since he became the player in the Spanish La Liga. So the list of players with most dribbles and chance creation since 2022-2023 in Euro's top five leagues is Vinny Jr., Bruno Fernandes, Ryan Cherky, Jeremy Doku, and Vicha Kvaratskhelia. These are the quality players that are there. Midfielders with 35 plus goals in a single season in Euro's top five leagues: Cole Palmer, Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, and Johan Wissa. Wow, this is some top level list for Johan Wissa to be right there. Quality 35 plus goals in one season in Euro's top five leagues. And the person is not a striker. The person is essentially a midfielder. Johan Wissa's right name is right there. Wow, that is very, very, very much interesting. Very, very, very interesting stuff over there for them. So now let's move to other news. First of all, Chelsea Football Club. Do Chelsea still want a centre back? I said the last time. Enzo Mareska said that they are looking for options and solutions internally. He said it the last time that for him, it's about finding solutions internally, and that is very, very good for it. Yesterday, I was telling you that Chelsea are closing in on their front shirt sponsor. Over the last few months, the report has been that Chelsea are considering a number of companies, a number of firms, some from Saudi Arabia, some from all over the world, and then they have been looking for these firms to come in, for these firms to come in, agree a deal for these Chelsea, for the Chelsea franchise sponsorship. Chelsea had about 10 of these firms that were there. Now they have trimmed these firms. What I hear, it's about 5. Now they are looking to finalize it and get one that's going to be the main guy. And that's where Chelsea are. Yesterday, Matt Law was reporting it in terms of Chelsea close in on a front shirt sponsor deal when it comes to the people that are going to sit in front of the front shirts. Those are going to be in there. Yesterday, in Enzo Maresca's pre-match press conference, he spoke extensively about a lot of things. But this is what I was telling you that I was surprised about. Fabrizio Romano last night is reporting, say Nicholas Jackson has a lot of suitors, a lot of it. And I've said it several times. See, people underrate the quality of Nicholas Jackson. Chelsea fans and non-Chelsea fans alike. I've said it several times. A player of Nicholas Jackson's experience, somebody who had just come from Villarreal to the English Premier League, for him to score double digits in the 2 seasons that he was at Chelsea. Yes, people always point out to the fact that Nicholas Jackson could have scored more, but he's wakeful up front. But the contribution to the team, the hold-up play, the spinning, the turning, the ball reception in tight spaces, and the ability to play forward has always been very important to Nicholas Jackson and how well he plays. And it looks as if the last time the marriage between Chelsea and Nicholas Jackson is done. I mean, you can't do anything about it again. The marriage between those two players is gone. It is broken. It is gone beyond repairs. And now Chelsea would have to move on. Nicholas Jackson would have to move on. But the report is very intriguing. The report is that there are crazy ways ongoing behind the scenes for Nicholas Jackson. There are many, many clubs who want him. Newcastle are still in there. Aston Villa, Bayern are closely monitoring, and then many more. What I heard yesterday is that Aston Villa have said that they want Nicholas Jackson at all costs. They want to make sure that they are going to get Nicholas Jackson at all costs. And I said, see, Nicholas Jackson essentially was taught how to do this job that he does today by a man called Unai Emery. And that man is the manager of Aston Villa. And that is why Nicholas Jackson understands that for whatever happens, one of the places where he can go and reinvent his career is at Aston Villa because he is loved by Unai Emery. Unai Emery is a big lover of Nicholas Jackson. And if it didn't work out at Chelsea, it looks as if the place where he can go in and then reinvent his career is at Aston Villa Football Club. But again, what we were worried about is that do Aston Villa have the needed finances? Are they in the right financial state to be able to do a deal for Nicholas Jackson? Or are they not in the right space to be able to do a deal for Nicholas Jackson? How are they going to go about this Nicholas Jackson conundrum? Because Chelsea have said that Nicholas Jackson is expensive. The last time when Kaya Cycle came out and said that for him, it's essentially about the cost of player. Chelsea say that Nicholas Jackson's price will be determined by the current price of strikers. So if somebody has gone to Leipzig and have bought Benjamin Sesko for 75 million, you will not buy Nicholas Jackson for less. You will not buy Benjamin Sesko for that amount of money for less. Because if you look at Benjamin Sesko, he is not on the quality. He doesn't have anything to show better than Nicholas Jackson. He has won nothing, absolutely. He has not contributed nothing to teams. Nicholas Jackson is a better contributor to his team than Benjamin Sesko. So why is it that Benjamin Sesko, I mean, it's going to, it's not as if he's way older than Benjamin Sesko. So it's an important one. Aston Villa pushing for Nicholas Jackson. He's a target for Unai Emery, according to a lot of the reports from Aston Villa when it comes to the players that get him. So Jackson is being chased by a lot of those clubs, and I hear Bayern, there's Aston Villa, there's Newcastle United. Of course, Newcastle want to finalize the Yuan Visa conversation. Then there's going to be a huge bidding war for Nicholas Jackson, and I think that tells you how much of a top player he is. What I hear, this is going to bring Chelsea some very good money in terms of still Chelsea sales. Yesterday, I came here and I reported to you that FC Bayern Dortmund is one of the clubs that are closing in on Carney Chukwuemeka. From last night up to now, Chelsea are going to get 24 or 25 million. Charlie, that is good money for Carney Chukwuemeka. Chelsea bought him very low, and then they are getting this amount for Carney Chukwuemeka, for a player that Chelsea themselves have struggled to let go. Certain injuries have come around him. What we hear from yesterday is that Dortmund know that they are going to get Aaron and Someno on loan as centre back, and I'm very excited for the Aaron and Someno loan. Everybody knows how I love Carney Chukwuemeka, but then I'm excited about the Aaron and Someno loan because this is the boy who came to Chelsea and then he came from Argentina, straight from Boca Juniors. And at Boca, they were saying that he was one of the best ball playing centre backs. The composure on the ball, the talents that he had is crazy in terms of ball playing. Of course, since he came, there have been a lot of senior centre backs in the Chelsea team. And because of that, he has not gotten enough game time to play, to prove and show himself of how good he is as a player. So obviously, that has affected him. It will affect his confidence, it will affect how much he's able to deliver and stuff like that. And even in games where you expect that Chelsea will give him the chance to play, he has not played. He has not played in all of these games. So how is that going to work for him? And today, what we are hearing is that the man called Aaron and Someno is going to be part of a deal involving Carney Chukwuemeka. For Carney Chukwuemeka to go to Dortmund. Once Carney Chukwuemeka goes to Dortmund, he is going to go with Aaron and Someno. And Chelsea are close to reaching an agreement with Borussia Dortmund for Carney Chukwuemeka. 20 million plus bonuses plus percentage future share. That is smart business from Chelsea. And Someno will also go on loan, according to Fabrizio Romano. That is a very good one from Chelsea in terms of making sure that they're able to sell these youngins elsewhere and then make sure that they'll be able to get good money for them. Because see, it's very interesting when it comes to the transfer market, how things go in there. If you don't make sure that you get all the money that you have to get for the players that you want, then you're going to be in trouble. Yesterday, Crystal Palace's chairman spoke about Chelsea's target, Mark Gay. Spoke about Mark Gay. And Mark Gay, Steve Parish spoke. Parish says that Crystal Palace chairman Parish, if Mark Gay wants to sign a new contract, then he can stay. It's a difficult situation. Everyone has to sell players to comply with the rules. That's the situation that we have to look at over there. That's exactly what he's talking about when it comes to Magay's possibility of staying. The truth is that Magay knows that he has suitors in Liverpool and Chelsea. So he doesn't want to make it too hard for them. According to what I hear, Magay wants to eat his cake and still have it. He doesn't want to sign a contract. He wants to stay at Crystal Palace and then make sure that next year he goes for free. And then when he goes for free, they are going to give him the money that they should have paid for his signing on bonus as a sign-on fee, as the money that he gets over there. And that's exactly what Magay is planning to do. Chelsea are still looking at the situation. I have said I don't think that Magay is tactically the best guy. I don't think that he is essentially the smart guy that centrally controls games, even in terms of being the defender, the CCB that Chelsea need. I don't think that it's going to be for Maggie to be able to go in there and then get the job done over there for themselves. And we're going to see exactly how that season, that conversation is going to pan out. Yesterday, Oliver Glasner, after their game against Crystal Palace, was asked about better chairs, about something from Enzo Maresca for you. I'm not going to talk about. Oliver Glasner says, I reach a better chair as all the best. He won't play for us anymore. All set is formal for his move to Arsenal Football Club. And that's exactly what his coach Oliver Glasner said about him, and that's very very interesting when it comes to Eberechi Eze, the conversation around Eberechi Eze, and then the fact that he's going to leave now. Angel Mareska has been speaking about Chelsea's two most important young players. Yeah, Chelsea's two most important young players. Angel Mareska has been talking about that. He spoke about one Esteval, or Esteval said his name is called Esteval. When I heard the Premier League name pronunciation, what I heard is that Esteval saying the name is Esteval. And then, of course, Andre Santos, his name is Andre Santos. Andre Santos. So, yesterday, Angel Mareska has spoken about the two players, Andre Santos and, of course, Esteval. He has spoken about the importance of Esteval, the importance of how good we're going to be. He asked him about whether he's going to use some of the young players to play. Mareska said this, and look at the wording of what Enzo Mareska said. Mareska says on Santos, I'm very happy with Andre, very happy with Andre staying here with us. He can play Enzo's position for sure. He can play in Moyes' position for sure. He played in one game in the Club World Cup against Palmeiras when he was very good as a number 6. So the good thing is that he he can play in both positions. That is very, very good. Now, this comes off the back of what I told you. There are a lot of clubs in Europe have been contacting Andre Santos's entourage. They have been trying to convince the boy that he has to move from Chelsea and come and play for them. He has to go to another club and come and play for them. Now, they are those that will give him what of those things, and some plenty conversation that they are putting in the boys' face. Apparently, Enzo Maresca, Steve Watts, Wayne Stanley have all sat down and they've said that the best player to be back up in the middle when they looked at Kani Chukwemeka, they look at Leslie Gochuku, look at all of those boys, they came to agree that the best player to centrally be important to everything that Chelsea are going to do in the middle of the park is Andre Santos. They believe that he can play as a 6, can play as an 8, can play sometimes when you need him as a box-to-box 8 in there. He has the power, he has the pace. When he gets into the opponent box, he gives you goals. When he comes back, he gets the job done for you. And so Chelsea are saying that they are going to keep Andre Santos. So, I mean, whoever in Europe that said that they want Andre Santos, they are not going to get him over there. He also went on, he spoke about Esteval. He spoke about Esteval, what Esteval brings to the Chelsea team. And Esteval, on Enzo Maresca on Esteval, he says, Esteval can be an option for tomorrow. So it looks as if Enzo Maresca is thinking of starting Esteval. And for a lot of people, they have said it. If you look at how good he was for the 15 minutes that he played against Crystal Palace when he came, he literally got the crowd on their feet. He was direct 1v1. He carried the ball. He dribbled on the right hand side. But again, does that mean you're dropping Pedro Neto? Does that mean you're taking what's his name? You're taking Jimmy Bino Gittins on the bench and you put Pedro Neto on the left? What exactly is going to go on for Chelsea Football Club, and how was the plan for Enzo Maresca when it comes to starting Esteval in that game against West Ham United? Because I mean, it's going to be a big game against West Ham United. Graham Potter has spoken about it. Enzo Maresca has spoken about it. Almost everybody has spoken about how huge that game is going to be against West Ham United. And so you don't particularly know what you're going to get, but then Esteval definitely is going to come in handy. And Enzo Maresca says Esteval can be an option for tomorrow from the start, for sure, after his Palace performance. But he will also look at today's training session and then make sure that we take a decision over there for him. Buying the when everybody's looking at the Nicolas Jackson story that I was telling you about. You remember I told you that Bayern have also been looking in and around Nicolas Jackson to see if they can finalize a deal for a certain Nicolas Jackson. What I'm hearing is that Bayern are looking at Nicolas Jackson again now. They provided that if a loan deal is possible. Loan deal for Nicolas Jackson. Tell about football club Bayern Munich. Enzo Mareska spoke also about Nicholas Jackson and what he brings to the team. Mareska said, I don't know if we have more capacity to score, but for sure, if we have made changes, it's because we think that that changes could improve the attacking phase. And that's exactly what Enzo Maresca is saying. That he thinks strongly that there's going to be the changes that they've done is going to be very, very important for the attacking phase. Teams who are currently interested in Nicolas Jackson, according to Fabrizio Romano, Aston Villa, Bayern Munich, Newcastle, and then Napoli are all interested in Aston Villa. Are all interested in Nicolas Jackson and whether or not he's going to join the team or not. Tonight, Chelsea has a big one against West Ham United. Like I've said, it's a must-win one for Chelsea. There's no way Chelsea go into this game and then they don't want to win this one. They have to win it. If they win it, it put them in a strong position to kickstart the season. Because mind you, right after this, there's going to be the international break that's going to come. So after the international break, what do you want for yourself? Do you want to win games? Do you want to go in there and then win and play in games and then play forward and get all the success that you want? Or what do you want? Or before the international break, do you want to drop points? And that's exactly what Chelsea are looking to do to make sure that they win consistently. To make sure that they win consistently in the games that they want to play. Make sure that they go into games and then have a good chance of winning. And we're going to see exactly how things are going to pan out from there for themselves when it comes to the games that are going to go. Like I was telling you, Ebrechi Eze, Arsenal have already finalized the deal for Ebrechi Eze, and he's going to be their boy. Very, very important player for Mikel Arteta. Borussia Mönchengladbach have matched Parma's proposal for Giovanni Reina from Dortmund. Parma has Arsenal's former assistant manager Giovanni. He's called something. He's called Carlos Cuesta. Carlos Cuesta. He's the manager of Parma. He was Mikel Arteta's assistant. He was one of the young guys. I think he was somewhere around 28, 27, 26 thereabout when he joined Mikel Arteta. Now he's somewhere around 29, and he's in the Italian Serie A. I'm going to play. He wants players like Giovanni Cuesta to go in there and then join them in terms of rejuvenation of the club. Douglas Luiz has moved now from Juventus to go to Nottingham Forest. I mean, Douglas Luiz from Aston Villa to Juventus, that move wasn't too successful. I don't think that he played enough games and he really imposed himself in matches as much as maybe he could have. Now he's coming back to the English Premier League for Nottingham Forest. I mean, I think maybe Nottingham are trying to replace Anthony Elanga with Douglas Luiz, but of course, Douglas Luiz is returning back into the team. Like I mentioned to you, there are lots of proposals and deals for Nicolas Jackson on the table, and they want to make sure that he gets in there. Aston Villa are pushing very, very aggressively to make sure that they get Nicolas Jackson because it's under the instruction of Unai Emery to make sure that they get to Manchester United's boy, Ellen Rasmus Højlund is a player who was subject to conversation yesterday. Man United informed Napoli that they are open to both a loan with option or obligation to buy for Rasmus Højlund. The preference is an obligation to buy up top for Napoli. While Rasmus insists on obligation, he wants to feel confidence for a long term in his future club. He says that Charlie, he wants an obligation just so when he goes, it's not as if he'll come back next season again and then the next season again, and then there are going to be a lot of issues. Rasmus Højlund said no, he wants to make sure that wherever he moves, it's a permanent deal or it's a deal that's close to a permanent one, just so he knows that this is where his future lies and can settle. Victor Boniface, 2 days ago, after the departure of Tammy Abraham from AC Milan to go to Besiktas just a couple of weeks ago, AC Milan wanted to replace and find another striker in their team. And the person that they had seen and they had wanted had always been Victor Boniface. They wanted Victor Boniface to come in there as well. And what we hear is that in the last few hours, AC Milan have finalized the deal for Victor Boniface. And Victor Boniface to AC Milan, here we go. A verbal agreement between the two parties. 5 million loan fee, 24 million buy option clause of mandatory no contract until 2030. Also done. Mandatory, not mandatory. Oh, okay. And contract until 2030 is done. Next step, medical test for Victor Boniface to go in the post. Victor Boniface, Milan fans have a little bit of an issue with him, but then again, they are going to go on and then get the job done over there for themselves. We'll see how things are going to pan out from there in terms of what the conversation around Victor Boniface going to AC Milan and all of those stories are going to go on today in the transfer markets. The big one is that Chelsea looks like they're going to start with Stefan Willian. The big one is that Chelsea are going to make an excess of 30 million plus for one player. And also, the four teams that are looking for Nicholas Jackson and Chelsea's players in their team. I don't know if you've seen that Chelsea jersey, but that jersey is brilliant. It's a really, really nice jersey, nice creative jersey over there from Chelsea Football Club. We look at the shirts, we look at everything. It's a brilliant one. Victor Boniface is joining Umbano for Leverkusen, according to Platigo, that jersey. That one is already sorted. Chelsea third kit with a Club World Cup badge. I'm very, very interested with the Chelsea third kit. We're going to see how Chelsea are going to be rocking in that third kit as the season goes on, and how really they are going to look at things and how things are going to pan out from there in terms of how Chelsea want to play their games. Now we'll see how things are going to go. Today there are some games. There's Paris Saint-Germain that's playing. There's Bayern Munich that's playing. Javi Simons playing against FC Bayern Munich. There is also Chelsea that's playing against what's the name? That's playing against West Ham United. We'll bring you all the conversation here on Fiifi-Manfred. The pre-match, post-match analysis, everything is going to go on here on Fiifi-Manfred. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. Turn on notification. In the notification turn make sure you choose all, just so anytime there's content here, you're first to have it. We'll come back in the evening, talk about the Crystal Palace game, Chelsea. Of course, we'll bring you the proper pre-match preview from the show later in the day, somewhere around 11. And of course, later on, we're going to go on and have the conversation around also what Chelsea can do against West Ham United. And after the game, we'll see how things are going to go on from there. We'll talk about all of those conversations over there, and we'll have all of those analysis for themselves. That's where we draw the curtain here on Fiifi-Manfred. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe, turn on notification, and do choose all. Bye bye.